with that all being said, who is this for?
It's for them. It's for those kids. You know, yes, there's something in it for me. You know what the best part of my job is? I get to sit in my library full of all the toys and books for my whole life and play games with kids. Okay, that's kind of fun, right? And I'm not gonna lie, I get something out of that. But honestly, it's because those kids say things like, "I finally found a place where I fit in, where I don't feel weird or threatened or bullied, where an adult, is listening to me and respecting and actually cares what I have to say and has the time." And I'm not saying that teachers in schools aren't good. I find more like the passion and commitment, and then when these teachers are protesting and asking for more, I fully support that. Problem is, they have too much. They can't handle it. And I know when I only had 1 year I only had 4 kids in my class. My school wasn't doing well, but boy, did those kids get a good year. Because the fewer kids you have, the more you can give them. And our schools are overcrowded and complicated, and you know, I love that there's some new resources and programs going in, and there's some beautiful things happening in schools. But why can't there be more happening outside? Why does learning have to only happen in classrooms that are funded by our government? Why can't we also have an extra peripheral, or whatever you call it, system of support, just like we do with healthcare?
I agree, that is very crucial, because education is not one size fits all.
No.
And I think that's where you come in.
Well, that's what curriculum is right now. We have this idea that all kids do the same thing at the same time on the same day. But that's because it's easier for the system to manage. Our schools are set up like factories with clocks and bells, and we keep kids managed. But that's not necessarily how learning happens. Kids learn when they're ready. If they're interested in developmentally the right thing, they will learn it. We don't have to push, we just support and we guide. But because we push kids to do what they don't want to do, we need to guard the doors so they stay there. And half of our EAs know that they're not teaching, they're just, I don't even know, monitoring, guarding, babysitting, keeping the kids in line so that they're controlled. But that's not enough for these kids. Every kid deserves to learn. And real learning happens instead of a standard where everybody has to be at the same time, where we just take everyone where they are and we push them this much higher every day. I say, and you know what, some days we take down and some days we go up, but growth is not look the same for everybody. And we just keep trying and we keep showing up, and it doesn't matter whether you get it or not. It's about getting yourself and feeling okay about being in that building and feeling safe. And you know what, who cares if you learn to do it this year or next year or how you learn it? What matters is that you learn what you need to learn to be your best self. And we put so much pressure on them to be something that we want them to be. And that's why WebbSprout isn't like other places, because students become before what the parents want.
And I will also add, something like your program would also help when students are getting to the age where it's time to look at university, what they actually want to do. Because how many people go straight into university after school because they think they know, because they've been told what to expect from themselves or what to do or how to respond to society, but you meet those kids where they're at, and honestly, they're probably more likely to have a more successful time in university because they've actually had time to explore themselves and where they're at and what they can do.
And one of the things I love about what I do with kids is I'm still in contact with so many of my kids in Korea. Like, hi, Ann. You know, like literally, the Jaden and Stefano and Sandra, or Myung. Like, these are kids, like, if they ever watch this video, one of them was one of my first students back in a Hagwon when she was 12. And she lives in Copenhagen now, and she was actually reading one version of my business plan because she's in business school. And we still are in contact because it's about mentoring and growth and real relationships and connections, not just report cards and test scores and moving on to the next grade. Like, I never had kids of my own, and I never really wanted kids. I had too many, my own life was messy enough. I just wanted to learn and grow and explore, but I've always been around kids. I was even a Girl Guide leader before I moved to Korea. And they were like, where's your kid? I'm like, no, it's just me. But I was a Girl Guide for 11 years, 10. Like, I love doing stuff and getting involved. And now I'm like, because I can't get around and go places, I bring them here.